Hey everybody, welcome to the show. You know where you are, the 9 at 9 with me, Tigo. And you know what? It is hot because it's the middle of the summer, and y'all know I'm in Las Vegas, so I'm melting and we got to do this fast. Y'all been asking me over the time, how do you get your word out? Tigo, how do you guys get to 500,000 people a week? How do people know who your brand is and what Expert Talk's all about? So I thought, why don't I invite somebody in that can tell you the difference between your brand, getting the word out, what a press release is, and how you really get your story out in an article. My buddy Tom Chester's here, so sit right there. We'll be right back.
Emmett, do you want to play with me? Yeah, I can't play right now. I'm doing show notes.
Yeah, you heard me right. Everybody's been telling you you have a story. You're supposed to share your story. You sit there and go, do I really have a story? Yes, you do. Everybody does, even Tigo. And today we're going to figure out, how do you share your story? What do you share? Well, you kind of leave that to the expert, and I brought the number one expert here. Tom Cheshire, are you out there?
I am out here in San Antonio, Texas. I think I'm a little bit hotter than you are today. But you know what? It's a great day to be alive, and it's a great thing to be on your show. Because when you're on the Tio show, you're on the go. You know, I thank you so much for bringing me here today. It's always a pleasure to be with you. So I guess we want to talk about how to get somebody's story, how to get somebody's story seen and heard across the world to be recognized, you know, as an authority in their space, because it is all about authority, branding, and positioning. You can call yourself an expert. That's okay. But most people, when you call yourself an expert, you got to prove you're an expert. We are really about providing media-worthy articles. And I'll clear up one thing. These aren't press releases, just 250 words out there not picked up. These are media-worthy stories that the media wants, Google wants. So actually, you can say, I really, bottom line, I write for Google. But what I do is I provide media-worthy stories like yours and everybody else out there, because you have a story and you are a brand, and you want to get recognized for the power of who you are. What's the ways to do that? We all know that you can go out here and do pay-per-click campaigns. You can do SEO. You can do all of it. You can even go buy a little bitty press release and something like that, you know. But that's not where media wants, and that's not what media wants. So you have to know what media really wants. What are they looking for more than anything else? So it has to be designed as a media-worthy story, or it won't be accepted in our network. So what we do is we design these stories based around, we're usually finding out what a need is. If you provide somebody a solution for a need, you got to identify the need. Need is number one. Then to come back in there and how that your service, product, whatever you have, your story suits and solve that need. Because without a need, there is no solution. And without a solution, there is no sale. So if you want people to buy into your story, to buy into who you are and what you have to offer, and it'd be the greatest thing out there, you got to understand that we need to talk about the need, the solution, and the sale. So what makes me unique and different, and the secret to my sauce is, guess what? I was in the ministry for 15 years. I preached, I went to seminary, graduated from seminary, knew how to write sermons, the whole 9 yards. And then basically after that, I went into sales for 30 somewhat years. So I know what it is to tell a story, to write a story, to show a story. So it's basically being able to then know how to sell the story. So in order to sell your story, it's very important that you get third-party validation. It's not what you say you are. It's what other people say you are. And Oscar Wilde said it best: you don't like it when people are talking bad about you, but really you don't like it more when people aren't talking about you at all. So what I take on is I take on your content. I take on your story. I don't try to make you somebody else. I just try to edify the power of who you are. Then when that is submitted, it's submitted out. It gets picked up by, right now, if it goes on certain networks, 375 major media networks pick up that story, your story, and they go take it to their website. ABC, NBC, CBS, Fox, the Boston Herald, the list goes on and on and on. They take it to their site. They put their distinct URL to your story. And then they ship it all back in one day, all at the same time to Google. So automatically you can go on your computer and you can say, I woke up this morning, you wouldn't believe what I saw. I saw 375 major media networks picked up my story in one day.
All right, hold on, because I know you. You're like a spinning top, man. You,
Okay.
boom, you go. I understand that. So that is what you mean by you write for Google, because when you get it out there, you get it out there, correct?
Correct. You want to know what media wants. You know how that, and what the editors want, and what they want to pick up, because they won't pick it up. Now that story needs to have some depth to it. Usually an article, a media worthy article, can be up to 800 words. You can have a YouTube video embedded in the article. You can have up to 5 links if it's 1,000 words. You can have all the power of what they're looking for, because Google bought YouTube, right?
Right.
For $1.3 billion. They own it. They want it. So they want that. Google also loves reviews and testimonies and people saying good things about you, right? That's what they love. That's how they develop a ranking. So in that situation, you're providing what Google wants and what Google feeds off of, so that Google can't say, oh, no, that's not what I want. I'm giving them what they want, and I'm giving them what they want about you and your story. So it's very important to understand how that really, really works, and basically I could go for a long time, but I really got 9 minutes.
Yeah, we got like 3 minutes. And before I let you get out of this hot seat, we got to get through this. So you're Rise Up Media Marketing, right?
Yes.
What made you decide to call it Rise Up? Tell me about that. Where did that come from?
Well, it actually comes from my Christian background, to be honest with you and truthful with you, because that's very important to me that people rise up. You need to rise up to shine, because that's what you're called to do. So I wanted something that can inspire, connect, transform, and basically people's lives. And by doing that, so Rise Up has exactly that message behind it. It's not the rising of the sun, but it's you rising up and you stepping up into your authorities.
And I know you're a writer, and a very good one, by the way. I know you're a writer. I know your history. Everybody does a little bit of it today. But what made you decide this was the next path for you? You went through your ministry, you went through sales. What made you decide this is where I'm going next? Because you could have, been a #1 best-selling author, like there are so many of them out there, and never shared your gift with us. So why did you choose that?
Well, the reason why is I sold Yellow Page advertising for 30 somewhat years. I took my lump sum severance package. Now there is what? No Yellow Pages. How do people get their story out there? They got to have a pathway, a platform to do that. And the internet is one of the best platforms to do that. So whether I also have Rise Up Radio and Business Innovators Radio, and I have been featured in several books, but the more thing is about you and getting your story to where it needs to be, where people are going to want to get involved with you. And so the internet's the best place you can do that, right?
Yeah. So now my question is, you have some amazing people as clients. I've met quite a few of them. Dame J.B. Owens is one of them. And my question to you, and, Sir Dr. James Dentley is one of them. How do you choose who's going to be your client? Is it someone who's been in business for a while, has built a reputation and then goes? Or is it somebody that's watching right now going, hey, I'm just getting started, but I want to get started the right way?
It's both. The answer is A, B, and C. Okay. Because in that situation, if you're already established and you have a lot of content, I look for people that's not one and done. I look for content that has a longevity to it and has a reach to it and has a need for it. So if your story is something that's needing today in our world today, and so much of it is, and that you can make that impact to change lives, that's the story I'm really looking for. That's the person I want to work with. So you're right. I don't just work for everybody. I am very selective at times, because I want to make sure it is a media worthy story that can impact lives and change lives.
Wow. We could sit here and talk for literally hours, because we have sat together and talked for hours. And I know your eyebrows went up a little bit when I told you 9 minutes. It's like, wait a minute, what? but I had to bring you in just to share a little bit. And I just want you, before we get cut off here, can you tell people really quickly, how important is it to be on Google, to be out there, to get your message heard and seen?
It's extremely important that you get on the right platform to be heard and seen everywhere, and Google is that place, but the networks, the media backing this whole thing up is the other added secret sauce to what I do, right? Getting seen on NBC, ABC, CBS, and Fox, 375 major media networks. Who can say anything bad about you when all of them are saying good about you? And I'm sorry,
I love that. I love that.
about you. Okay. You understand how that works, and you're the powerhouse behind what you do. It's just is very much in line with what I do. It's getting stories out there, and you pick the story, right?
I love it. I love it. Okay, before Alan's going to cut us off because he loves doing that. Everybody, you know how to get in touch with Tom. Thank you so much, Tom, for being on. You are amazing. Hey, you guys, you know what to do. If you want to get in touch with Tom, go to tigodirect.com. Type in Tom, type in articles, type in story. Guess who's coming up? Tom Chester's coming up. Send him a message. Tell him, hey, I saw you on Tigo and on Expert Talk with Tigo, and I have a story to tell. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Y'all know I hope you'll be back next time. And as always, I'm Tigo. I'll talk to you next time. Have a great day. Don't melt in the heat, okay? Don't.